Brian Dorsey was executed by the state of Missouri on April 9, 2024. The execution was carried out using lethal injection. His time of death was officially recorded at 6:11 p.m. According to state officials, the execution proceeded smoothly. This event occurred after his final clemency petition was denied by the governor. It also followed the United States Supreme Court declining to intervene. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. The crime for which Brian Dorsey was convicted occurred on December 23, 2006. The victims were his cousin, Sarah Bonney, and her husband, Benjamin Bonney. Dorsey had contacted Sarah earlier that day, seeking money. He needed funds to pay drug dealers. The couple went to Dorsey's apartment, where the dealers were present. After the dealers left, Dorsey went with the couple to their home. They spent the evening there, drinking and playing pool with family and friends. Later that night, after others had left, Dorsey entered the couple's bedroom. He fatally shot both Sarah and Benjamin with a shotgun. Sarah was shot in the jaw at close range. Benjamin was shot against his right ear. Court records include an allegation that Dorsey engaged in sexual intercourse with Sarah's body after the shooting. He then stole items from the home. He also poured bleach on Sarah's body before fleeing the scene. Dorsey left in Sarah's vehicle. The bodies were discovered the next day by Sarah's parents. The victim's 4-year-old daughter was present in the home at the time of the murders. Brian Dorsey surrendered to police on December 26, 2006. He admitted involvement in the deaths. He was subsequently charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. In March 2008, Dorsey pleaded guilty to these charges. Following his guilty plea, a penalty phase trial was held. The jury sentenced him to death for each murder. His conviction and death sentence were upheld on appeal through the state and federal court systems. In the period leading up to his execution date, a clemency petition was filed. The petition sought commutation of his death sentence to life in prison without parole. This petition garnered significant support from an unusual array of individuals and groups. Over 70 current and former correctional officers supported clemency. A former Missouri Supreme Court judge, Michael Wolff, also supported the petition. Several jurors from his original trial expressed support for a life sentence. Support also came from both Democratic and Republican state legislators. Faith leaders and members of Dorsey's family, including some related to the victims, advocated for clemency. Correctional officers cited Dorsey's exemplary conduct during his incarceration. They highlighted his role as a staff barber, a position of trust. Former Judge Wolff stated publicly that the court system may have got it wrong in Dorsey's case. Jurors who sentenced him expressed hope that he would receive a life sentence instead of death. The arguments presented for clemency were multifaceted. A key point was Dorsey's deep remorse for the murders. His rehabilitation while incarcerated was emphasized. He maintained a spotless disciplinary record throughout his nearly 18 years on death row. His work as a staff barber for 11 years was cited as evidence of his trustworthiness and positive impact within the prison system. This role involved significant interaction with staff. A central legal argument focused on alleged ineffective counsel during his trial proceedings. His trial attorneys were paid a flat fee of $12,000 each. This flat fee payment structure was argued to have created a financial conflict of interest. It allegedly disincentivized thorough investigation and preparation. This potential conflict may have led to a guilty plea without a guaranteed outcome regarding sentencing. The defense did not secure a life sentence recommendation in exchange for the plea. Furthermore, it was argued that counsel failed to adequately investigate and present Dorsey's mental health history. His history included significant substance abuse and chronic depression. A defense claimed the crime occurred during a drug and alcohol-induced psychosis or blackout. This state, they argued, rendered him incapable of the deliberation required for first-degree murder. The argument was that due to his mental state and intoxication, he lacked the specific intent necessary for the capital charge. This point was central to the claim of ineffective assistance of counsel. Despite the broad support for clemency, Governor Mike Parson ultimately denied the petition. The governor stated that Dorsey's actions warranted the death penalty. Governor Parson cited the pain Dorsey brought to others through his actions. He stated that the execution would deliver justice and closure. Some members of the victims' families supported the execution. They emphasized the devastating impact and loss caused by the murders. These family members described the crime as the ultimate betrayal. They highlighted the trauma inflicted on the victim's young daughter and the horror of the discovery by Sarah's parents. Their statements underscored the profound and lasting pain experienced by those closest to Sarah and Benjamin Bonney. In his final statement, Brian Dorsey expressed deep remorse for his actions. He apologized directly to the victims' families and loved ones. He also thanked the many supporters who had advocated on his behalf. Dorsey stated that he carried no ill will or anger towards anyone. He expressed only acceptance and understanding in his final moments. Some family members, such as his cousin Jenny Gerhauser, found the execution unnecessary. They believed his remorse and rehabilitation warranted a different outcome. Dorsey's attorneys stated that he took full accountability for the murders. They noted that his focus remained on the horror of his actions and the pain he caused. The execution of Brian Dorsey closed a complex legal and personal chapter. It reignited debate surrounding capital punishment, ineffective counsel, and the potential for rehabilitation within the justice system.